Today's mindful moment is focused on noticing nature, a favorite way for me to be mindful. As many of you know, my favorite place to notice nature is at the ocean. When I'm at the ocean, I notice the cool air, the fresh air, the breeze. I notice the water and the horizon long in front of me. I often notice the sun sparkling on the blue water. Sometimes at my beach, it's foggy. There's no sparkle. It's all gray. There's mist and coolness and wet landing on your face, landing on your hair, landing in the water. Sometimes the difference between the ocean and the beach is not that different. The waves are small and peaceful. The fog is thick and heavy, and there's wet everywhere. Some days it's a crisp day. There's a clear delineation between the sun and the water and the sand and the grass on the dunes. Some days it's still and sparkly. Some days it's windy and energetic, and you can notice the sand on your skin as the wind blows, and your ears cold with the wind, and your hair flying everywhere. The sea foam landing on the beach, picking up light and landing in lots of different places. Big piles of sea foam, small piles of sea foam. Some days at the beach, instead of sea foam, there are jellyfish. Slippery, sliding jellyfish. Maybe as you're walking, you step on one, and you slip and you slide. Takes you by surprise, takes you out of your mindful moment and back into the present. And then you attend once again to the nature around you. Taking in a deep breath and noticing the fresh, clean beach ocean air, and a huge exhale out into nature. Noticing how you are but a small part of the natural world around you. Noticing also that you can be in nature even in your mind, even when you can't see it, even when you're not actually there. Whether you notice a picture from a previous trip to nature, to the ocean, sensing even the feeling within your chest that you had when you were there in that moment, bringing you back. Or perhaps you're just looking out of a window at nature. Perhaps it's a tree outside. Noticing the wind moving each of the small tiny leaves on the tree. Noticing the way the light reflects on the green of the tree. Noticing the thick trunk of the tree heading downward into the earth, grounding with strength. Noticing as you look up through the leaves on the tree to the sky. The sky is also nature. Sometimes clear and blue. Sometimes cloudy, gray, and stormy. And sometimes where I am, completely thick, gray, pea soup fog. Once again, back to the moisture, feeling the moisture, seeing the moisture, experiencing the moisture, being mindful of the moisture. So many facets in nature to be mindful of, looking different on any day. The same space, the same place, and yet nature looks completely different, feels completely different, depending on the light, depending on the weather, depending on the season. There's magic in nature when you're mindful. There's magic in nature when you're in it. And when needed, there can be magic in nature just by tapping into your mind and going back to a time in nature where you were there once and remembering whatever's still in your mind about nature and noticing as you think about it, what happens in your heart. Noticing that the nature comes in through your mind and yet it impacts your heart as well. Taking a deep in-breath through your nose and a big out-breath. I hope you enjoyed this exploration of noticing nature, whether it be actually in nature or just in your mind's eye. Realizing that mindfulness and nature are available to you anywhere and everywhere. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.
Today's mindful moment of presence. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my new offerings. On my YouTube channel, there's tons of free mindful yoga classes, episodes of the Mindful Healers podcast, audios of my written blog, Pause and Presence for a Life Better Lived, and snippets of actual live mindful coaching from my coaching business, Pause and Presence Coaching. I would love to have you join me for any of these offerings and hope to see you again soon. May you all be well and have a beautiful day that includes pause and presence, calm and peace, and a life better lived.